I swear I am not on steroids, but I can't help the fact that my head looks even more ginormous. Let's talk about Lions football.
Elbow, forearm, he's going to be down.
The result of the play is a touchdown.
And the flag that was thrown on this was picked up.
I don't know, did it get the face mask?
Only do that if you're telling the official you're reporting.
The Lions hangover. All right, what's up, guys? It is Brad. You are listening to the Lions Hangover podcast. It's been a minute, but hey, I still remember what to do. Don't forget, you can find me on all social medias, X, Instagram, and Facebook. As always, I'm more active on X than I am anywhere else, but you know, you'll still see the occasional post pop up everywhere else. It is, what the hell? I think it's June 4th right now. It's been approximately 3 or 4 months since I've last done an episode. I'm sure you guys have missed me. I keep meaning to do episodes, and I'm like, no, the subject matter has passed. It's like, I don't want to talk about free agency now. I don't want to talk about the draft now. But with Frank Ragnows announcing his retirement, what was it, yesterday? Or the day before? I can't remember, man. I was like, I have to do an episode, and I figured we could just get caught up together, you and me, the listener. We'll get caught up together, and I'll touch on all of the previous subjects, but you know, I'll just skim that stuff. All that other stuff is old news. But then again, I am the hangover, so I'm an after the fact podcast. I'm not a commentary necessarily. I just moonlight as a commentary person in the off season. So let's see what happened first. Free agency happened first, because last time we talked, we already talked about Ben Johnson going to the Bears and stuff with my buddy Joe. So let's talk free agency. The Lions mostly re-signed all of their own players. Okay, and this is all going to connect. Don't worry, guys. This is for what I'm going to talk about today. This is all going to connect. They brought back Derek Barnes, Marcus Davenport, Dan Skipper, Levi Onwuzurike, Craig Reynolds, Tim Patrick, Trevor Nowaski. I like Nowaski. He's a cool dude. Okay. Now, they did lose Carlton Davis III, of course, as you guys all know, but they did sign DJ Reed, who is like, I will say, from what I hear, and this is just all opinion based, you can say that they're the same player. That's acceptable. You can say Carlton Davis is a little bit better. That is acceptable. You can say DJ Reed is a little bit better. That is also acceptable. They're just so close. DJ Reed doesn't quite have the size. However, he is known for his coverage. He's a coverage guy. He's not necessarily a ball hawk. He's more of a pass defended against kind of a guy. Reed is going into his 8th season. He, of course, played for San Francisco, Seattle, and the Jets. He has only 6 interceptions in his career. He had none last year. He did play in 14 games last year, so he is a relatively healthy dude. He doesn't get injured too often at all. Last year, he did have 64 tackles and 1 sack. Like I said, he is known as a coverage back. By comparison, Carlton Davis had 56 tackles, so DJ Reed edges him out just a little bit, but Carlton Davis did have 2 interceptions last year. Then what happened? Oh, the draft. Let's talk about the draft. They drafted defensive tackle Tyleik Williams from Ohio State. He's 6'3", 327. He was the 3rd-ranked defensive tackle in the draft. He had 46 tackles, 16 solo, and he won a national championship, but he never beat the University of Michigan. He is a girthy lower body dude with big, meaty hands. These are not my adjectives. I would never say a man has big, meaty hands, unless he was a masseuse, in which case my back is hurting. He's explosive. He's good at clogging the run gaps. Let's see. He works laterally with his blocks to stay gap solid and stretch plays. He has enough snap quickness and know-how to get into the edges. He also has quick feet, man. Quick feet. So we are looking good at this. Now, the story of this draft is going to be Tate Ratledge, and we will get to him when we start diving into the Frank Ragnows stuff. But Tate Ratledge, second-round pick. He's 6'6", ginormous, 320 pounds from Georgia. He runs a 4.97 40. He is good. Firmness into contact on double teams. It's good. He can double team dudes by himself, I feel like, just his massive size. He's got big hands, of course. 6'6", you're definitely going to have the big hands. He's got a strong core to help sustain his blocks. He is also patient and controlled when climbing to linebackers. This dude does not miss his blocks very often, if ever. Now, this is my favorite third pick. The Lions moved up. Some people say they gave up too much, but I say if it's the guy you want, you can never give up too much. Mr. Isaac Tesla from Arkansas. He's also a local guy from Hudsonville, Michigan, where he won a state title as the quarterback. He does have some size. He's 6'3", 214. He runs the 4.43 to be exact, 40. He's ranked first in athleticism, which is a huge upside. His size creates big mismatch problems for smaller defensive backs, of course. He's sure-handed with the ability to stab stray passes. This dude, I think he's underrated, okay? Underrated. I think, and who knows what the future is, but this guy, I think this guy's quickly going to become our favorite number 3 receiver, and I think he is set up to be a new favorite wide receiver number 2 in a couple years. We will see, though. We will see. Round 5, they do grab Miles Frazier. He's a guard from LSU. He's also 6'6". He's 317 pounds. He's the 12th ranked guard in the draft. He runs a 5'2", 440, so he's not as fast as Tate Ratledge. He does have an NFL-sized frame with proportional thickness and length. I don't know what that means. Do you? He brings a jolting knockback pop from upper body into his first contact. He runs his feet and clears his gaps as a drive blocker. He pulls with good body control and adjusted movement to smack his target. You guys like these little anecdotes about these players? Okay. Moving on, Mr. Ahmad Hassanin. Am I saying this right? He's the defensive edge that we all wanted Brad Holmes to take in the draft. We did have to wait until, the 6th round for this guy. The thing I liked about him was his enthusiasm to play for Dan Campbell, man. He started crying on the phone, He's like, I'm ready to die for you. This is insane. And this is a Dan Campbell guy. This dude is 6'2". He's 267 pounds. He runs a 4.77 40. He did lead Boise State with 9.5 sacks. He started all 14 games this past season, and he has 48 tackles on the year. He did rack up 32 tackles for loss, including 22 sacks over the last 2 seasons. He plays each snap with ideal motor and passion. This just spells Dan Campbell type DNA. This dude is passionate about football. He loves it. He's going to be a good locker room guy. I am optimistic about him. What kind of presence is he going to have on the opposite side of Aiden Hutchinson? We will find out. Next, we have Dan Jackson. He was a safety from Georgia on my mind. He was redshirted as 2019 as a walk-on. He didn't play in 2020, the COVID year. In 2021, he played in all 15 games with 4 starts for the national championship. He had 40 tackles and 2 tackles for loss and a blocked kick that season. Let's get to 2024. He was third team all SEC. He played in all 14 games with 13 starts. He had 64 tackles, 1.5 tackles for loss, 2 interceptions, and 3 pass breakups, and a blocked kick on that one, and a forced fumble. The dude is amazing. He's got impressive speed. He showed some impressive speed at Georgia's Pro Day. He's got well-timed hip flips and turn. Basically, this dude is going to take over for Ifeatu Melifonwu, who I loved. He will be missed. He's going to be a good third or fourth safety, a good depth piece. He will also be, a special teamer as well. So optimistic about him. Dominic Lovett, the last guy in the draft, 23rd ranked wide receiver from Georgia. Man, we love these Georgia guys this year. He runs a 4.4 40. In 2024, he led the team with 59 receptions, 670 yards. That's 10.3 per reception, 6 receiving touchdowns. He played in all 14 games with 7 starts. Okay, so where are we at there on this one? Okay, so we didn't do anything. Now that we've got all that crap out of the way, we didn't do anything in free agency or the draft that made pretty much anybody happy. This is my opinion on this. In the draft, everybody wanted a defensive edge. During free agency for a long while, the bulk majority of the people, the loud people, they're like, you got to make a trade for what's his nuts in Cleveland, Myles Garrett. He's not happy there. He wants to come play in Detroit, whatever. And then he resigned early on before free agency and all that stuff. Regardless, through free agency and the draft, the Lions went 15-2 last year with a banged up defense. 15-2 with a banged up defense. Think about this for a second. They're coming back. Who did they resign in free agency? They pretty much have the exact same team as they had last year. And you're upset over this. 15-2. Okay? I can't stress that enough. Yes, they went out early to the Washington Commanders. Okay? And that was the first game all year that you could probably chalk up to injury. Or maybe the Lions took them a little bit too light. Okay? Regardless, 15-2. Now, that record means nothing when you exit the playoffs early, but you have to have a good regular season to make it to the playoffs. You have to have a good regular season to put yourself in position to succeed in the playoffs, okay? If we were going to the Super Bowl, every single game was going to be played at home. That is a huge advantage. Huge advantage, okay? And we have like 80% of that exact team coming back. And now we have these new guys from the draft, all right? And we have the benefit of starting healthy again. With a few questionables. I know there's some people worried about Hutchinson. He's been 100% cleared. I am not worried at all. I think he's going to hit the ground running. I don't think he's going to have any hesitation whatsoever. I think this dude is always jacked and ready to play. The one that we're going to be missing right away is going to be Aleem McNeil. But, of course, that's why we have Tyleik Williams. That's why we drafted Tyleik Williams. And if Davenport can stay healthy, we have him, on the edge as well. DJ Reader is still here. He's got one more year left. And you never know. The Lions might sign Zadarius Smith again, okay? And I would love to see what he can do opposite edge of Hutchinson, okay? I'm kind of mixed on the Zadarius Smith. I feel like he was great the first 5 minutes of defense, and then I feel like he just disappeared. He got his sack right away against the Vikings, and then it's like, where's sack number 2? Like the very first play, he got a sack against the Vikings. Very first play against the Packers, he got a sack, and then he disappeared. It's like you need that continued pressure. He did okay, but it's like we need more, dude. Like it's important to start strong, sure, but I feel like that sack would have been better if it came in the fourth quarter, maybe even the third quarter, like the first possession in the second half for them. Like, I don't know. I just was not blown away by Zadarius Smith, so I'm cool with them cutting him loose. I'm cool with them bringing him back, too, because he still has that potential. He is a great player, but for the price, not worth it to me. He was supposed to make like $10 million this year. Not worth it to me, okay? So, but where I'm getting at is the majority of the team is going to be the same, and you guys our window is now. And that drives me nuts. I hate that saying, our window is now. Okay? Because first off, Lions aren't building a window. Okay? They're shooting for a dynasty here. Now, whether you think that can happen or not is a different show. But they're not building a team to win for 1 year or 2 years. Otherwise, they would be the Chicago Bears. Okay? They would just sign a bunch of guys when they had the chance, when they had huge salary cap, right? And everybody would think that they'd be awesome, but then the other pieces wouldn't be like... The Bears, on paper, have a fantastic team. They suck, right? Because they're building a team to win right now. We have a team to win right now because of the previous 4 years that Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes has been here. All right? And this is the thing. We will always be contenders as long as you draft well and as long as you have good coaching. And until further notice, the Lions are drafting extremely well. I know this year was not as sexy as maybe 2 years ago, with Jack Campbell, Sam Laporta, Jahmyr Gibbs. That was probably the best draft we've ever had. That's probably the best draft that any team has ever had. That draft was amazing. Brian Branch. Freaking sweet draft, okay? That probably did not happen this year, but there's things that happen. Kirby Joseph's, you got to let these players develop too. Kirby Joseph's first year in the league, he was good, but he's top 5 now, right? Melifonwu, he was good. He started off struggling, but he was good near the end. Now he's in Miami, right? There's guys that he's drafting in the later rounds that we're not necessarily seeing instantly, that we're starting to see now, that are making a huge impact, right? We are getting better every year. We are drafting great. These coaches are amazing. Hank Fraley, the offensive line coach, is probably the best offensive line coach in the NFL. He was taking offensive coordinator coaching. He had opportunity. He was doing interviews to become the offensive coordinator. He's that good. People are seeing a big lunk guy. Lunk, not luck. Lunk guy. People are seeing him and they're like, this guy, he's a great coach. He can coach these guys up. So... I feel like I'm just scrambled all over the place. I'm just trying to get this all in. Frank Ragnow retires 2 days ago. And now people are starting to wonder if the sky is falling again. Oh no, our window is closed. Shut up. Our window is not. There's no window. There's a foundation for a dynasty here. We have 90% of our offense coming back. We have like 75% of our defense coming back. We're going to be okay. That's where Tate Ratledge comes in, the guy with the awesome hair. Maybe the best mullet I've ever seen. He's been taking, at OTAs, he's been taking most of the center reps, okay? They knew Ragnow was leaning towards retirement. Maybe they knew a couple weeks ago that he was definitely going to retire. Maybe they knew before the draft that he was definitely going to retire, and he was just sort of waiting it out. I have no ill will towards Frank Ragnow. He is the man. He has played through injury. He's played through a fractured throat. I can't even imagine having a fractured throat. He was whispering to Graham Glasgow, for the calls and stuff. And Glasgow would shout out the commands because Ragnow could barely talk with his fractured throat, man. This dude has played through severe toe injuries. I can't imagine what that is like. I have nothing but respect for Ragnow. Nothing but respect. And now it looks like this giant dude, Tate Ratledge, 6'6", 320 pounds, is in the pole position to be the next center for the Detroit Lions. Now, Glasgow could take over. He could be a depth piece. He could be the odd man out because, honestly, they have a lot of pieces at offensive line. They do. A lot of pieces at offensive line. As of right now, it's Penei Sewell, Taylor Decker, Graham Glasgow, Christian Mahogany. Sewell and Decker, they're Pro Bowl caliber tackles. Tate Ratledge, I've heard nothing but fantastic things, and I think he's going to be the hero coming out of this. But Glasgow, he's a very good center. He had a rough end of last season, but it's, he's had rough seasons before and rebounded. He's not comfortable at left guard, which is where he played most of his time. So Kevin Zeitler could play right guard. The previous season, Glasgow played right guard, in place of Jonah Jackson, and he did just fine at right guard. So maybe he'll get a chance to go back to right guard. Maybe it's going to be Mahogany, They also have, what is his name, Giovanni Manu, who came from Canada. We drafted him last year. He was like 5th round dude or whatever. People love him. He has a chance to be a starter on our team. The Lions also signed today Tristan Colon. All right. They signed Michael Nice. Or is it Nice? Niese. I would say Nice. And they also have, God help me on this one, Kingsley Iguakun. Iguakun. I feel like it's Iguakun. I'll spell it for you. Eguakun. Igakun. I think it's that. So they're looking for answers. I feel like they have answers. I think they're also looking for insurance. I am not worried at all. At all. We're going to miss Frank. And I also wonder, is this a situation where because of his injuries, he needs to retire now? Will he feel better next year? Will he want to play next year? Does he just need a year off? So is that why he's announcing it? But then that always creates a weird situation too, because what if Ratledge does come in? What if Ratledge kicks ass and then it's like, yeah, we love you, Frank, but here's a dude that stayed healthy the entire season, man. And he did great. And he's cheaper. I guess that would be a weird situation. I would hate for Ragnow to go anywhere else. I just hope he stays retired. If there's success with Ratledge or Glasgow or anybody else, I just hope Ragnow stays retired. It's just, I always feel bad. There's always awkward situations. It's not my problem. Lions will figure it out. But, all right, last thing I want to talk about as I drag this on and poorly speak about these topics. Hutchinson and JMO both had their 5th year extended, okay? It's widely known that they are working on an extension long-term for Hutchinson. And it seems as though they were willing to take JMO up on his 5th year extension. But his future beyond that is a bit in question because we already have one $30 million wide receiver in Amon-Ra St. Brown. And sooner or later, you're going to start losing people that you love. This is the problem with success. But again, it won't be a problem because we draft well and we have good coaching. We will be okay. But we're going to get to a position where we're going to have to start saying goodbye to some of these guys. Some of these guys that we really like. And sooner or later, it's going to be big stars. Okay? With the explosion of Jahmyr Gibbs, how much longer is David Montgomery, who I love, going to want to take a back seat? How much longer are you going to want to pay David Montgomery $8 million a year? Whatever he's making, I think somewhere around there. It is clear with his injury last year, and Jahmyr Gibbs got more carries, you cannot hold Gibbs back. And that's going to make Montgomery a little bit more expendable. And it's going to make somebody like Craig Reynolds a little bit more, maybe not Craig Reynolds, I'm just using him as Sione Vaki. He could be the next David Montgomery. That's the price of success. People are going to want to get paid, and we're not going to have money for everybody. So you can either hope that you get this hometown discount sort of a thing, a loyalty discount sort of a thing, maybe a success discount sort of a thing. Guys just want to play for a winner, and they're willing to take a few bucks less for that. You hope that that's going to happen, Alex Anzalone. But somebody like JMO might not want to do that. He's still young. He still feels like he has a lot to prove. Now I'm going to voice my opinion on this. His 5th-year contract extension is roughly $20 million. I don't think JMO is a $20 million wide receiver. I definitely don't think JMO is a $30 million wide receiver. He has not done enough for me to warrant a $20 million contract. And I know contracts just keep going up. So remember Kenny Golladay? He wanted $18 million, and we said no, and he went to the Giants, and then he fell apart after that. Kenny Golladay clearly was not an $18 million quarterback, and I'm so happy we didn't pay him that contract. Now, JMO's really good, and he still has a lot of potential, but he still had a lot of flaws on the field last year. You know, but that's not to say he cannot prove it this year. He has 2 more years to prove it to the Lions that they don't want to miss out on him. Because I think there's Amon-Ra St. Brown who catches everything. And then I feel like we have a bunch of reliable weapons after that. We don't have Amon-Ra St. Brown in JMO and then a bunch of weapons after that. I need to see more from Jamison Williams, and I like him. You know, he seems like a super happy dude on the field. I think he has some maturity issues. I don't think he's a bad dude, but I still need to see more from Jamison Williams to think he's worth $30 million. And if he makes himself irreplaceable like that, the Lions will find a way to pay him. Teams find a way to keep their stars. And right now, I feel like he could be replaced. I mean, he's got a couple highlight plays, but they're not highlight plays that I don't think anybody else could do. You know? He needs... And maybe I'm alone on this, and I'm sure there's people that agree with me, and I'm sure there's people that are probably like, this asshole doesn't know what he's talking about at all. But I just need to see more from JMO. Okay? And getting back to... Sooner or later, you're going to start losing dudes that you don't want to lose. Like, when we drafted Jack Campbell, I mean, I would have to go back and listen to it, but I'm pretty sure I said Anzalone's days are numbered. Jack Campbell had a great year last year. We just signed Derek Barnes. You know, and I love Anzalone, and he makes a difference. But you can't pay everybody. Now, thankfully, in a weird way, with Ragnows' retirement, we're going to get like $8 or $9 million back into the salary cap. He gets to keep like his base salary or something like, I don't know. He gets to keep like $4 million of that. So there's a little bit of extra money built back into the salary cap. So I think Anzalone wants years, not necessarily money. I mean, I'm sure he wants a modest raise, but I think he's looking for a little bit of job security. I would totally bring back Anzalone for 3 more years. You know, give him like $2 million more a year. I think that's respectable. But beyond that 3 years, you know, he's going to be in his mid-30s at that point, close to his mid-30s. And it's going to be Jack Campbell's show. You know, Jack Campbell already took over when Anzalone was hurt. He's already got the green dot on his helmet. He's used to it. I think he came a long way last year. Jack Campbell did. You know, and you're going to have to start clearing out some of these players who are holding other players back. And Anzalone would be a great depth piece at 33, 34, 35 years old. But he's not going to want to be a depth piece. He's going to want to be a starter. He's a captain on the defense. You know, he's going to want to be a captain. He's not going to want to be a special teamer guy. You know, he's already played that role for us and for other teams. He's a starter now, and he's earned it. I thought he's played great. I think he deserves another contract. But my point is, sooner or later, you're going to start losing guys, and it's going to hurt because you've grown to like these guys. But don't worry. Brad Holmes knows what he's doing. Dan Campbell knows what he's doing. And you're going to have a new favorite player next year. There's always going to be a new favorite player. That's all they have to do is keep drafting well and keep coaching like they can. And the Lions are going to be okay. We pretty much have the same 15-2 team coming back. We're going to be good. We're going to be good. Now, we might not go 15-2 again this year. I don't think we will. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Let's see. I think that's it for me. Good news. I'm going to make a legitimate effort to get back onto YouTube. That's right. At the start of next season, we will be going video and audio. But we're going to go back to YouTube. So I think I can do it. It is a little bit more of a time consumer. I think, it takes like 4 to 5 hours for each video that I make. But we'll see. I'm going to give it a shot. I know I've been doing 2 videos a week. I don't know if I could, or 2 shows a week when we're in season. I don't know if I could do 2 videos a week. I'll definitely do the post game. Okay. And we will see if I can somehow expedite the process. We'll see about getting 2 videos out a week during the season. So, all right. Well, that's it for me. Thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing. Tell your friends about me. Tell your kids about me. Tell your parents about me. Yeah. Why not? Everybody's listening to podcasts these days. Everybody's got a podcast these days. Thankfully, this is going into my 4th year, and I don't feel like such a noob at it, even though I think today was a rough start. I finished strong, and that's what's important. All right. I promise to only get weirder. I will talk to you guys soon. Hopefully not. No, it definitely won't be 3 months because we're talking season at that time. And I will, that's it. Okay. Sayonara, adios, and arrivederci. All right. See you.